Make sure you go to ashkicking.com and cop the new special edition DBN scented candle.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So the IBF welterweight champion, or the new IBF welterweight champion of the world, the Truth, Errol Spence, recently did an interview with Sway in the Morning. Shouts out to Sway in the Morning for giving these fighters, especially fighters on a coincidental list, the credit that they deserve, since mainstream media doesn't give them the credit they deserve. Considering the fact that the biggest American media outlet, ESPN, didn't even fly out to England to cover the American Errol Spence going up against Kell Brook. But ESPN's Dan Raphael did fly out to England to cover Golovkin versus Kell Brook. But anyway, getting back to Sway, this is why I give Sway a lot of credit for giving these fighters on a coincidental list the credit they deserve. With that being said, it was a great interview. Errol Spence still had a lot to say about Kell Brook. He talked about Floyd Mayweather. He talked about Keith Thurman. But on this video, I want to talk about what he basically said about Floyd Mayweather. He talked about Floyd Mayweather's power. Sway basically asked him, how hard does Floyd Mayweather punch? Can you feel the power when he punches? And Errol Spence, he basically said that Floyd Mayweather, he definitely has pop. He definitely gets your respect with his pop. And he mentioned the Maidana fight. He said that that's why he was able to even back up Maidana at times in that fight. So he definitely has pop. He said he's not the hardest puncher. And he also said when it comes to his speed, because Sway also asked him, is it just his speed? And Errol said, no, it's not his speed. It's his reaction time. And what he means by that is his timing, basically. So he was saying that's pretty much what separates him from other fighters, is his timing and reaction time. Errol Spence was also asked to compare sparring with Broner versus sparring with Floyd Mayweather. And Errol Spence, he said, it's more of a mental challenge when you're sparring with Mayweather. But he said when he was sparring with Adrian Broner, it was more of a physical challenge because they were basically just both going at it. Like they were damn near both like trying to knock each other out. He said Adrian Broner, you know, he doesn't move around that much. He's always fighting in the pocket. So he said it was more of a physical challenge with Adrian Broner. So I thought that was pretty interesting for him to break that down. He was also asked about the black eye that he gave Floyd Mayweather, and Errol Spence said he had never seen a black eye, which is pretty interesting because I could have swore we had seen Floyd Mayweather rocking a black eye around that time that he was preparing for Robert Guerrero, if it was the Guerrero fight. But talking about this sparring, Broner and Floyd Mayweather, it's interesting how things just transpired, right? Because before this fight, you had a lot of decafs, uneducated decafs that didn't know enough about boxing, and they kept basing this whole fight on, oh, the guy, Errol Spence, he hasn't fought anyone, and oh, you guys are just basing things off of his sparring experience, etc., etc. But like I tell people all the time, if you truly know about boxing, then you should be able to predict a fighter being good way before everyone in the whole world already knows it. You should be able to scout out the talent way before everyone already knows the answers to the test. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we did when it comes to Errol Spence. That's what a lot of professional boxers and trainers did. Like I say, I go all the way back to Freddie Roach, man. I remember before the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, I interviewed Freddie Roach and I asked him, once Mayweather and Pacquiao are gone, who does the torch get passed down to in terms of being the next pound for pound star, or king, I should say? And a lot of fans, they would have expected Freddie Roach to say, oh, Golovkin, oh, Canelo Alvarez, or someone like that, but he didn't. He said, what's the kid's name from Texas? And then someone said Errol Spence, and he was like, that guy. And keep in mind, this was 2 years ago, prior to the Kell Brook performance, okay? He mentioned Errol Spence. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about Freddie Roach, because there's no doubt about it, Freddie Roach, he contradicts himself when he, defends Manny Pacquiao, which that's almost understandable why he is forced to contradict himself trying to defend his fighter. But when different trainers like Freddie Roach to Jeff Mayweather to Floyd Mayweather Sr. to Floyd Mayweather Jr. to Abel Sanchez to many different professional boxing trainers, when they're all corroborating, then you know that that fighter is special that they're talking about. So once again, people didn't just base things off of this guy having a reputation of doing really well against Broner and Mayweather in sparring. These boxing trainers and fighters, they knew that Errol Spence was special because they have experience when it comes to boxing. They've been around long enough to know who looks special and who doesn't. These are boxing aficionados, okay? And they got this one right when it comes to Errol Spence. Once again, you don't have to wait until a fighter fights a certain fighter to really know if he's a special talent or not. You should be able to call that way before they fight that champion or that pound-for-pound fighter. If you really know boxing, you should, okay? So that's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.